and I have dedicated this session to the properties of ceilings. Anyway, if we select them, we'll have some incidence properties, the levels, the height offset from level, the room boundings or not that we selected as usual. And in edit type we don't have any special property, but in edit assembly we got familiar with the layers, with the functions, as you can see, materials and thicknesses. So everything is repetitive. We have worked with them before, involves any in the floors. Okay and okay. Anyway, and in the continuation, I want to mention some other points. Sometimes, when it's some decorative ceilings, I can edit the sketch and then I can draw some other uh, curves or rectangles or I don't know, whatever, for considering an opening. Watch this, 1200s and 1200s, like this way. Then I click on finish. Afterwards, create similar from the edge. Then I click on and then draw it. Finish, opening the 3D view. Check this out. I enable section box and then I check it out. I duplicate it from the edit type. I name it test. I consider the let me move the core boundary down and I delete the structure and I specify 20 centimeters thickness. Then I align these two. However, I can select this and make another copy to clipboard and then paste it align the same place, but this time I want to reduce it 20 centimeters. Watch this, then it will be placed below the previous one. Again, I select it, edit, and then I can rotate it at 45 degrees. Check it out, finish. This is the result. Again, I can select it, scale it or resize it. Watch this. And then let me select the reference from the center. Scale it. Control Z. Let me try again. Let me delete it. Watch this. I want to draw it at the corners. Watch this. At the center. And here. And I connect them. Finish. Watch this. Then I can make copy, paste to the same place. And equal to, for the height offset from level, minus 200 millimeters. Then I rotate this 45 degrees. Watch this. Select, sketch. I want to rotate this sketch from this part to the other corner 45 degrees. And I want to straighten the lines. Watch this, 45 degrees. And finish. Here is the result. Or I can change the shapes or geometries. For instance, this time I delete it and then I want to replace a circle. Watch this, snap overrides, mid between 2 points from the center. Watch this. Finish. The next one, delete. Then I find the center, I draw another circle with smaller radius. So we can model or draw different kinds of geometries here. Then we can design them. For instance, We can add fillets to the edges or add sweep. That at such a time we have to use model in place. For example, we open it, I choose ceiling in architecture, ceiling. Note that you have to check the filter to architecture, and then I search for ceilings, OK, and open. We assign the name and open. Can use void or extrusion or sweep. Void sweep. Then I should pick the path. I click on the edges and then finish. Then for the profile of the sweep, I want to load a new one in the profiles, metric profiles, and then let me open leaning. Here we got some profiles by default, or we can model a new profile for ourselves. Let me open this, opening the list of profiles. Then I add the loaded profile. Then I should flip it, since we want to void the circle. Before finishing the void, we have to click on cut to cut the ceiling, and then click on finish to void it. Watch this. This is the result. Again, model in place, selecting ceiling, the category of ceiling, void, void sweep or whatever tools, selecting the profile, flip, cut, and then finish. Watch this. This is wonderful. You know, then you can model beautiful ceilings. Let me open a file here for you to show the ceilings there. Watch this. Here in this project that I have talked about modeling such a villa in the Revit elementary level 2024 for those who want to get familiar with a project, especially for the basic users. If I open the section views, watch this. Here we got the ceiling that I have modeled them using model in place. Watch this. These are the ceilings that I have modeled them using model in place tool. So I have installed them by this way, since in the default mode we cannot model these using ceilings. Or for example here for the pool, let me move the section line. Watch the ceiling of the pool that I have modeled it using model in place. Watch this. We cannot model such a ceiling in Revit in ceilings, so we use model in place using sweep, drawing the rectangle as the path, as you can see, and this is the profile and the result of the sweep. If I show you the section line, I'm just showing you to give you some ideas in your projects. Watch this, like this way. This is the result, and this is wonderful. There you can model different kinds of ceilings in your project. If I launch Inkscape to walk through the model, and then I move into the model, you can find the instructions for Inkscape as well, that you can enroll them and watch them. Here again, I walk through, and then I navigate in the space and rooms. Watch this. By this way. Watch the materials, furniture, the ceilings, stairs. I move upstairs. So you can model most of the ceilings using model in place, especially for specific models. And if you wanted to schedule them, you can create them in the ceiling of the family, then load them. Anyway, this was about ceilings generally, but in the next videos we want to get through other details of the ceilings. Don't worry about them, since in the next session we'll cover them all.